know how you press record and you thought you was ready, but then you look at yourself in the camera and you be like, oh, wait. Is that what I look like today? It's been a minute, but I am actually loving these hair talks, you guys. I am bringing experts to you in their field. I really want you to have all of this information about hair care because we all want this long, gorgeous hair, you know. And y'all, no, wait, before I say that, hey, Bree, hey, girl. She reached out and was like, girl, I'm loving the oil. It's doing right by my hair and my skin. Me too. Look at this. Today we are talking to Coach Dana. So Dana Wilson is a trichologist. Love that. She does virtual services. So I say everybody should see a trichologist at least once a year, just to see the health of your hair, just to know what's going on. And Dana is going to school us. First of all, if you've ever dealt with fibroids, PCOS, endometriosis, it is wonderful to hear her because she is going to be someone that you can actually reach out to and have another conversation, especially if your hair isn't thriving and you are dealing with one of those reproductive diseases. Because I already got my own fibroid story, y'all. It's just a thing. She is a Loctician. She has beautiful sistelocks. They are gorgeous. So if you ever have questions about that, I love it because a lot of the college students that I had the opportunity to speak to last year, a lot of them told me that they were going to be doing their side hustles, and one of them was doing hair. So you can actually become a certified sisterlock technician without having to go to cosmetology school, and you could be doing that in the dorm. So I absolutely love that. What else did I want to tell y'all about Dana before? Oh, Dana reminded me about exfoliating the scalp, and I was like, wait. So all that to say, y'all, tune in, go ahead, listen to Dana, and visit curlyhaircrisis.com because I have added a little section where you can find a trichologist in your area. Now, if you know someone that is a trichologist, please tell them to reach out, send me their information so I can add them. Also, if you know somebody that's a side hustler with hair, tell them that they need to see Coach Dana so they can be amazing for their clients and actually know when they see things, because sometimes your stylist is the first person that notices thinning or notice your hair is changing a little bit. Other than that, y'all, I'll see you in my next hair talk. Bye, subbies. Thank you so much for joining us and the subbies. Yes, you all subbies. Guess what? We have an amazing person with us here today. I'm talking about, we are speaking to a wonderful lady who's been in the game over 20 years with hair care. I know it just seems like yesterday when you started. So amazing. And the wonderful thing about it, not just that she's a certified trichologist. Now, we on Curly Hair Crisis, we already know what that is. Yeah. But she actually has a lot of experience with Sisterlocks. And believe it or not, just yesterday, someone called me and said, you know what? I'm thinking about locking my hair. And I said, oh, hold on. Because I got somebody that you might need to listen to, because I can't tell you anything, but I just know it's amazing things happening, especially when you go on that journey.
Well, hi, subbies. Thank you so much for having me. Truly. I mean, it's an honor to share with other people about what I'm up to and what I do. So thank you so much. I am Dana Wilson. I am a certified trichologist. I am a Sisterlock trainer, consultant, and coach. I am a certified cold capper. And if you don't know what that means, is right. So a cold capper is someone that help people who are going through chemo and want to save their hair.
Oh, wow.
I am a bioresearch assistant. So what that means is I am certified to help with research studies around hair loss and products and such as well. And notice I did not say I was a cosmetologist. So I am not a cosmetologist. So ultimately, I call myself a hair advocate because my journey really just started with getting my own Sisterlocks.
So you're so passionate about this. What led to your journey of just, even before you decided to lock your hair, what happened to make you fall in love with just all of this wonderful information about hair health?
So, well, first of all, I was in the military. Okay. And so in the Air Force, and, you know, you're doing a lot of working out, you're deploying, you got to be ready at any time. Right. So I had the hair woes just like it, you know, most African-American women, we have those hair woes. And so I was trying to figure out what to do with my hair that look good and manageable. And that's how I ended up with Sisterlocks. And then from Sisterlocks, get my Sisterlocks done, I decided I wanted to learn how to do it. Just because I experienced so much freedom with it that I wanted to share with other people. And then obviously I became a consultant, never really trying to do it as a business. It was just really a sharing at first. And then I had to learn how to do business because it got out of control, right? Oh. The sharing got out of control.
We know.
But over the years with my clientele, I started seeing hair loss, and I could not put it together. Why? I knew that they were coming for their regular appointments. They had a great regimen regarding shampooing their hair and moisturizing their locks and such. And they were going to see dermatologists and getting different treatments, but it really wasn't working. It worked for temporarily and then go away. Then I started losing my hair.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Yes, ma'am. I did. But it wasn't the kind of hair loss that was like coming out in clumps in my hand or in the shower or anything like that. It was just a diminishing of density all overall. Oh. I just started to notice, I'm like, something's going on here. Something looks different. And I had a consultant friend of mine who had just told me she was a trichologist. And at the time, I really didn't dove really into it. But when I started looking at my hair, I'm like, tell me what you say you did again. And so obviously, trichology is the study of hair loss, and scalp disorders. Mm-hmm. And so I began to talk to her about what was going on. And the first thing she told me to do, go get blood work. Get you a physical and get blood work.
For your hair?
So yeah, I'm like, for a physical and blood work for my hair? I told you my hair is falling out. But the blood tells you everything. The blood tells you what's going on inside your body. Like, are you vitamin deficient? It's telling you what's going on with your hormones. I found out that I had fibroids. When I went and got that physical, I had tons of fibroids. What does that have to do with hair loss? Well, your fibroids are being fed and grown by blood, and every follicle on your head has a blood source to it. And so if it's feeding something else, then it cannot feed your follicles. So sometimes for some people, your hair is the sacrificial lamb or an indicator that something's going on internally with you.
Wait, so just a sidebar for fibroids or PCOS, like in your case, did you feel like, okay, you know, my fibroids needed to be taken care of for my hair?
Yeah. So look here. Here's our follicle right here, right down into the scalp. Each follicle, it has a blood source to it. Okay. And so if your blood is feeding other things, then it's possible that it's not being feeding the follicle. So absolutely, it could be so many things. It could be hormonal. It could be fibroids. It could be you had a surgery and your body is, out of whack. The blood is being distributed somewhere. It could be you're dehydrated. It could be low vitamin D. It's so many variables here, and it really is a personal situation. So there's not one thing. There's not a one-stop shop thing that, some people go get these miracle drops. Sometimes it works for the person and sometimes it don't, because it really depends on why that person was losing the hair. What? So that's what happened to me. I started losing my hair. I went to a trichologist. She broke it down for me. And of course, me being that curious person, I'm like, I need to learn more about this, because obviously I wanted to help my clients. And so that's when I went to trichology school.
Wow. Wait, so in your case, how'd you get your hair back on track?
Oh, it was so many. I had to change my diet.
Oh, there goes diet.
I had to change my diet. I had to start drinking more water. I ended up taking care of those fibroids.
Mm,
And
mm.
it took my body at least 6 months to a year to balance back out where I started seeing growth. But it was a personal journey to my wellness. And it continues to be. It's something that hair loss is not like you recover and we all back to normal. You have to continue to do the things to take care of your body to continue to see growth or to diminish the loss that you've seen before.
Well, so I hear you say
Mm-hmm.
this is not a quick fix, especially if
no
we are
quick fix.
already thinning.
A good trichologist is going to tell you to go get some blood work because she needs to know what's going on internally. It is not the external. It's 70%. They'll tell you 70% internal, 30% external.
Wow.
Because there is some, like we have traction alopecia. Alopecia is usually, around the hairline typically, but obviously anywhere that the hair is being pulled excessively in one area. And what it does is sometimes it kills the follicle or just have the follicle be dormant.
That's from our lace fronts, maybe. And when we get the braids real tight. That's
so what's happening here, if you see this, that hair strand is being pulled out of the follicle. So then the follicle don't reproduce another one. It's supposed to grow and leave, grow and leave. So hair loss is a disruption of that life cycle of the hair. And so it decides, okay, it's being pulled so many times in that area that it decides it's not going to produce anymore right there.
Wow.
So I named the traction. We know that one. Traction alopecia, that's excessive pulling, right? We have androgenetic alopecia. That is the diminishing of the density overall, meaning that the strands are becoming thinner and finer. They're dwindling away. Okay. Or it's not producing as much hair, right? Because I told you it go through a cycle. That's the androgenetic alopecia. So that's just where you'll see someone say, oh, it's thinning overall. Then you have CCCA. This is a tricky. Centrifugal cicatricial alopecia. And that one is primarily in Africa. You'll see that in African American women. And that is the alopecia that starts typically in the center of the head and spreads out. It is a scarring alopecia, meaning that it really kills the follicle and closes it up where it will not produce hair anymore if it's gone too far.
Wait a minute, what causes this? What age? What's happening? Because I don't want.
Good question. So here's it's not funny, but here's the interesting thing. We need more research studies for this.
See.
Okay. For the most part, African American women, we do a great job with compensating, camouflaging, putting that wig on, putting that weave on and keeping it moving, or just shave it off and keeping it moving. And we don't handle it, meaning we're not going to the dermatologist or know to go to a trichologist or that there is one. And so they don't get to do the research because they don't have enough people that's coming in with the issue and being willing to be part of research. And so we really need our sisters and brothers to come in so that we can do research on that to find what the commonality is. But it's inflammation. It's like an inflammatory alopecia. So that means that the person has inflammation in their body. Those are the common ones that I see. Of course, you have, scalp disorders. People have seborrheic dermatitis and ringworm and all that kind of good stuff. But as far as hair loss, traction, androgenetic alopecia, and CCCA are the huge ones in our community.
Okay. Well, again, so that's good to know.
Yes.
Hubbies. That is good to know. But is there any other thing, because we're all on these healthy hair journeys, that you would say for preventative steps?
Yes.
We can just keep our hair so healthy, just growing. Is there anything else that comes to mind?
Yes, scalp hygiene is the first thing that comes to mind. Because we think about, shampooing your hair, right? But it is the scalp that is the breeding ground for the hair, right? So we need to keep our scalp clean. So just the same way that you do, you wash your face every day, right?
Yes.
But then at some point you get a facial so that you can get a deep cleanse. You would do the same thing with your scalp, and that's called a scalp exfoliation. You would get a scalp exfoliation where you're focusing just on the scalp, getting those follicles and pores all cleaned out. The same way you would do with your face.
Wait a minute, I've never heard of this. Do I need to go somewhere and get this done? Wait a minute.
Absolutely, you need to be going to get a scalp exfoliation at least every 6 months for sure, if not more.
Oh,
you got to keep the scalp clean. And then, of course, shampooing your hair. Because typically, if you shampoo your hair, you're getting some on the scalp. But a scalp exfoliation is specifically just for the scalp and getting all that debris off and like a deep cleanse of the scalp so that the scalp is in an optimum way to produce hair. That's what I would tell you to do. That is a preventative measure. And of course, getting a physical is a preventative measure all within itself, right?
Yes.
And then for those people who say, oh, it's in my family. It runs in my family. My mother has thin hair, or somebody is bald. That means I'm going to be bald. No, it's like any other ailment. When you go to the doctor, they say, do you have cancer that run in your family? Do you have diabetes in your family, right? And that is like a red flag for them to say, okay, we need to make sure that you're eating well. We need to make sure you're doing these things because it's in your line, right? So that we can change that direction if we deal with it ahead of time. It's the same thing with hair loss. Wow. If you believe that it's in your family line, let's do some things now so that maybe you can change the trajectory of where you think you would be going.
All right. Now, thank you for saying that. I'm telling people again with my Health Connect, your hair it's a lot of internal things happening with this, and we want this gorgeous, beautiful hair. But just to keep it moving, though, yes. I would love to hear more about these Sisterlocks. So, first of all, excuse my ignorance. What is the difference between when people say, "Oh, I have Sisterlocks," versus people who just say, "Oh, I just want to go get dreads"?
Sisterlocks is the only natural hair management system with a certification attached to it. Dr. Cornwell, who is the founder of Sisterlocks, what she did was when she created this system, okay, she sued the Board of Cosmetology in California. Her practitioners did not have to go to your cosmetology school to get a certification because they could not offer it. She owned it. And she had a certification process. So a Sisterlock practitioner does not have to go to cosmetology school to practice Sisterlocks.
Nice. You just have to go get a certification.
The beauty about Sisterlocks is that shampooing is part of the locking process. It is a vital part of the locking process. And with some locking techniques, they don't want you to shampoo the hair because they're using, not in the beginning, because they're using some kind of gel, beeswax, or some kind of agent that is binding the hair together. So if you rinse it out, it's time for that retwist because you rinse in whatever they put so that the hair can lock out. With Sisterlocks, it is an interlocking from the beginning, and the shampoo actually helps to move the locking process along.
Well, yours are beautiful, by the way. because we are looking.
Listen. I don't even know my life without them. Now, and I'm not knocking any other technique because they're beautiful too. They are beautiful. They are doing it up. But I just so happen to have gotten Sisterlocks, and if it works for me, it's been over 20 something years. I don't even know my life without it. And it's no limits to what I can do with my hair.
That's all right. Well, we definitely want to hear some tips about these locks, because I would tell you, one of my best girls just called me, said she wanted to lock her hair. And she said it's because she's tired of her hair. She said she wanted a low maintenance, something that she felt like she wouldn't be manipulating her hair all the time.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe you could.
So here's the other beauty about Sisterlocks. The Sisterlocks are designed the way that they're the way they're parted, the way that you actually start the lock is all based on that person's specific hair characteristics. So my locks don't look like somebody else's locks versus somebody else's locks, because it's all based on my particular hair, my curl pattern, and what it does, right? And so my job as a consultant is just to manage what you already have. Your hair is going to do what it does, even in this natural free state. Okay, so what I mean by that, if the shrinkage is real,
yes,
the shrinkage is going to be real in the locks too.
What?
For a time period when they first get started.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I didn't think that.
Yeah. So if the hair stand up when the humidity get it or whatever, that's what it's going to do in the beginning stages. So that's not going to be different. It's just being managed. That's all.
Well, how long is this beginning stage?
So everybody's different, right? It depends on your curl pattern. Some hair types lock right away within weeks. Some take 6 months. Some take a year.
What? Wow.
And it also depends on the client too, how well they following directions as well.
Oh. Okay.
So we can't forget that part.
Yes. We are interested in you though, and your services, like what you do, because I know quite a few folks that love to do hair. One time for all of my DC high school students that are now on the way to college, and one of the young ladies told me that her side hustle was doing hair.
Okay.
In the dorm.
Okay.
So we would love to know more about what you do and the services that you offer.
So I offer a couple of things, several things actually. So of course I told you I'm passionate about Sisterlocks, but right now in that area of Sisterlocks, I'm doing more of coaching. I am a trainer. So that brand new person comes to the class, primarily here in the Richmond area. I am the trainer for that class to teach from the basics on how to do Sisterlocks and how to start your business. But right now I'm passionate about coaching people once they've taken the class to continue to hone their skills and work with them one-on-one. I'm a trichologist, so I offer trichological services. I do it primarily virtually.
What? So we don't have to
do also do in person, but primarily virtually. We have now, since COVID, right? We've learned how to work this thing out, right?
Yes.
So I've created a system that works, and I've been able to see results in where I can work with people virtually. What happens is I send them out a dermoscope so they can take pictures of the areas that they're having concern with, so I can see the scalp. I have a HIPAA compliant platform that you would then load those pictures to, along with intake forms. And of course, I ask for blood work, right? I need to see the blood work. Once I have all those things, the pictures, the blood work results, and the intake form, then I assess what's going on. And I could tell you what kind of my observation and assessment of what kind of alopecia you have.
Oh, wow.
And then we could do a treatment plan from there, or a wellness plan. I call it a wellness plan. Mm-hmm. And then what happens is I send you the equipment that you need, the products that you may need, and a recommended regimen, and obviously recommendations for the internal part. And then we meet virtually every couple of weeks.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I do that primarily virtually, but I also offer in person as well. And that in person is primarily for people who need a diagnosis. So typically, because I'm a trichologist, that's a paramedical profession, right? I'm not a doctor, so I cannot give you a diagnosis, but I do have rapport and partnerships with doctors.
Okay.
So I do have a way in which you can get a diagnosis. So I do in person for people who need a diagnosis.
Okay.
Mhm.
Some
Yeah.
chronic issues happening.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Or you need it on pen and paper what it is, because now we know it's internal, right?
Yes.
So now the medical community is really actually acknowledging this in a real way. And some insurances will pay for trichological services.
What?
Mm.
Okay. You all need to check your policies from the job.
So I do Sisterlocks coaching, virtual and in-person trichological services. And the way people could reach me is going to my website, which is www.haircares with the S, inc.com, or they can email me at info@haircaresinc.com.
Oh.
I would love to partner with people around their hair needs. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You all got another name to add to the list.
Add my name, put me on there.
Go check, especially with the virtual services that you offer. And for those of you who are wanting to get more information about Sisterlocks, I love the fact that it is a certified system instead of we're just kind to learn and kind of just doing all these other things. And I know it's probably continuing education with that. So that would be amazing. So thank you so much. Well, you can't leave without giving us some final words that you'd love to share.
Yeah. My final word is, listen, we need to look at our inside, right? We need to get internal. Hair care is self-care. Okay, so if you worry about the beauty on the outside, we need to work on the beauty in the inside. That is the real takeaway, I hope, that people get from this, is we need to look at what's going on inside. Hair care is self-care. Find out what's going on inside for preventative, or if we have an issue, we really need to dig deep inside. Let's get to the root cause of the problem.
To the root.
Let's not camouflage it. Let's get to the root cause.
I don't know. Wigs be working out.
Listen, and put the wig on and still work on the problem, right?
Okay.
We can do that. We can do both.
We can do that.
We can play that thing off and take care of it at the same time.
Okay. It's better. Oh my goodness.
That's right. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I really do.
Hey, I'm feeling like you're a teacher, because when you pulled out, the hair model,
right, right.
I was like, wait a minute, we are in class. Where is my pencil?
In fact, what I'm doing right now, I'm glad you said that, because I am in the process of doing a 7-part series called Root to Tip. And it really is my story from prior to getting my Sisterlocks to now. So I was sharing some of those pictures. I definitely have them readily available, because I was sharing some of those pictures and stuff like that too. Even my hair, even my relaxer days and all that kind of stuff.
You go back to the relaxer day.
Go back. My Tony Braxton cut.
No. Oh, that's gonna be good. Well, when is Root to Tip coming out? When are we gonna?
I do it Mondays at 10 a.m.
You didn't say this.
Okay. 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I am live on Facebook and also on YouTube, my YouTube channel, which is Hair Cares Inc. So 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, live on Facebook, Hair Cares, and then also on YouTube as well.
Okay, every Monday at 10 o'clock, we can catch you live. And are
So
you just, if we have hair questions, or is it for people who do hair? Like what?
Yes, it is for the client and the practitioner.
Oh.
Come on in, join me, ask me some questions, participate. Let's dialogue. I am telling my story, but I'm definitely open for dialogue for sure.
Yes, we would love to see it from root to tip. And for those
Root
of us who working.
Oh, so I do a replay at 8 p.m. Eastern time as well. I do a replay. So, but you can always go to my YouTube channel and check it out if you didn't see it before.
Yes, that's amazing. Thank you. Because people be needing stuff in real time.
That's right.
You know?
You're right.
Y'all, Dana is available every Monday at 10. See, she didn't say this at first. See, you was trying to hide. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, from root to tip. I'm so excited.
Join me. It's so much fun as I'm going through this journey, just sharing my journey.
Yes, please share. People want to know. Gotta package it up. So when is the master class? When are you holding the class for those of us who are at home trying to take care of our hair?
Now I do have a class. This is for the practitioner. Okay. Remember, I was telling you I'm passionate about helping the unlicensed person, right? Yes. That is your cousin. You said they want to do hair at her house, right?
Yes.
Nothing's wrong with that, but let me help you identify if your client might be having hair loss issues. So because we are the first line of defense for that person, you're doing their hair. So if you see something funny, one, you need to know what it is, identify what it is so that you can help your client. And so that's what my class is called, Trico Essentials for Locks. And this is for the hair practitioner who wants to learn more about hair loss, how to identify the do's and don'ts, and then how to maintain a clientele with healthy hair and locks.
Yes. Wow. Well, thank you. Now, see, you got a lot going on.
I done gave y'all my stuff now. I done gave y'all stuff.
You got a lot going on. Wait a minute.
Got stuff going on, girl. Come on.
I was just ready for the.
Thank you, subbies. Thank you.